Hey everybody, this is Gunhead70, and I've got another video here on another one of my custom Gundams. This Gundam happens to be in 1/144 scale, which is pretty much the scale that I work in, I guess, because 1/144s are somewhat affordable, and if you're going to start mixing and matching, it's a little bit easier to swallow the price rather than working with 1/100s or master grades. But this particular Gundam is a combination of quite a few different Gundams. He's the combination. I used the GNX3 ESF type, the Chaos, the Geminass 01 from Gundam Unit, and I'm going to butcher the name, the aesculapus, also from Gundam Unit. Now, the reason why I built this Gundam is because I was watching 00, and I remembered a part in the TV series where I'm trying to remember there was a country called Azadistan, I think that's it. And they were talking about they wanted to restart their construction on their solar antenna or something like that, and they needed help. And the country was in obvious chaos and a lot of bad things going on. And so I started thinking about building a Gundam for them, some type of mobile suit. If they were going to have a mobile suit, what would it look like? And what exactly would they build? Well, they don't have money, so obviously they would have to scrounge up parts. So basically this Gundam is the combination of, would be the combination of old Gundams or broken Gundams that they managed to get their hands on, or even stole parts. Maybe even the resistance force that kind of worked with them in the shadows probably could have built this Gundam for them. But anyway, I'll start listing which pieces that I used. The head is from the I hate that name. The aesculapus, which is from, like I said before, it's from Gundam Unit. So are the shoulder bind. I don't think you'd call them binders. I'll just say they're just shoulders. So are the shoulders, but the shoulders are from the Geminass 01. I believe that's the proper designation. And if we move down, as you can see, the main body is from the GNX3 ESF type, or any GNX. They're all the same. You can use any one of those because that portion is all the same. But his weapon, which I left in his hand, is also from that Gundam. The shoulders and arms and his shield, along with his legs and the side skirts, are from the Chaos. And I liked the Chaos because it actually had quite a bit of posability in the legs, and I really liked that. And I didn't want to. I thought about using the legs off the Estrella. I believe it's not the F type, it's just the Estrella. But then it really looked too much. I thought those looked too much like the Exia, the 00. I didn't want it to look that similar to them. I wanted it to look more. I want it to have a little bit more bulk rather than being really thin and I guess lanky. But anyway, so then we'll turn him around, and oddly enough, he's got a tail piece back there, and I didn't list it, but this piece here is from the geminass. And I'll get into it. I'll show you in a minute why I used that piece back there. But now the problem with when you do a custom is sometimes things work great and sometimes they don't. Posability is just as good as any other Gundam. The arms bend to a 90. They don't do a full 180. The arms will rotate, but these pegs are so small that sometimes the arms want to, and those just popped off. I should have glued those in. Yeah, that was some silliness that didn't need to happen. I guess I'll be gluing those things in later. You know, they can rotate, but sometimes they want to pop off the peg. So they do rotate, but you just got to, you know, be a little careful with it. I kind of lost where I was. Posability in the legs is really good. Of course, you know, there's waist articulation. It'll turn left and right. The side skirts kind of get in the way, but that's not a big deal. But one thing that I really do like is, like I said, the legs, because they are really posable. Let me put them in a quick pose here. Let me see if I can get him to get that down, put that up. I can get him in a kneeling position so that he's down on his knee. I'll give you a little side view, let you see what's going on. And I really like that because it just opens up, you know, what kind of poses you can do when you've got this guy sitting on a shelf, because he doesn't have any pegs for a stand. So, you know, a kneeling position would be kind of neat to have him in. Yeah, might as well do a little 360 and let everybody see what's going on here. And there's no problem with him getting in a kneeling position. As you can see, the side skirts don't hit the ground or get in the way. They're really good. Stand him back up. And those are the Chaos legs, like I said before. Now, I'm going to have to make this video short because never seems like anybody who does a video charges their camcorder or a video camera before they do the video, and mine's getting ready to die. So anyway, so he has weapons. The Chaos comes with 2 beam sabers that sit on the side skirts here, and let me pop one of those out. Comes with those 2, but I didn't want him to have full-size beams in there, so I found some shorter ones, and I'm using those. So that's the size of the one beam that he's got. And here's the other. So it's much longer. So this one's more like a dagger, while this one is an actual sword. But I'll get into the sword ones in a minute. And these, you know, these 2 sabers, beam sabers, just sit in his side skirts. Of course, now the beam doesn't want to come out. There we go. They just sit in there, and he can get to those pretty quickly. But the other cool feature that the Chaos has, which is another reason why I wanted to use him, is on his knees. Let me move one of the arms out of the way. Get the side skirt back. See right there on his knee, it opens up, and what I've done is, normally this is part of the transformation feature for the Chaos, that it turns into like an eagle, like a claw. There's normally a little fin that comes up off of this point here, and then there's another one that sits there. What I've done is I've just made it an opening to hide a beam saber. So right in there hides a beam saber, and it just sits in there. So now what he can do, if if he's fighting an enemy, that panel opens up and out pops the beam saber, and then he can just, you know, knee the guy and you know, run the beam saber through. He doesn't have to pull it out. He can if he wants to, but you know, he keeps his full-size beam saber down in the shin of his leg, which I thought was just kind of a cool thing to put in there. I thought, well, that's where he'll keep his beam saber. So that's where he keeps those. We'll stand him back up again. Now, like I said before, you know, this mobile suit, I guess you could call it, I guess it's not really a Gundam, it's just a mobile suit, was made for Azadistan. It's mainly made up of GNX parts, so those would be pretty easy for them to get, because, you know, by the second season there was tons of them all blown up all over the place. But he's got the GNX3s, I don't know what you would call that, a lance? I guess it is a lance. But he uses the Chaos shield. He uses the Chaos as shield, so I just like the smaller shield on there. But on the back, like I said before, this piece here was for the Gedessa, and I kind of swiped it from the other Gedessa that I had. What had happened was the large beam cannon that the Gedessa uses, one of the pieces on it broke, and it's got those large fins that I actually don't have any out here. It's got those large fins that open up, and then it turns into that huge, humongous beam cannon. Well, I just took them off, and I made this. So it's kind of like, it's just a, you know, like a big gun. And pop his hand off. Sorry, I took that off camera. It's just complicated to get the hand to open up. Oh. And wow, that's interesting. The hand just broke. Oh well. Guess I'll have to fix that later. The piece for the outer part of the hand broke off. No big deal. I got tons of hands lying around. I'll just have to paint some up and put some on. But anyway, so the well, that's just going to look weird. It would be held just like how the Gedessa uses it, you know, on the side. But instead of shooting a large beam, it now just shoots because it doesn't have those long things coming off of it. Now it just shoots a small pulse. You know, like I said, it's a Gundam that uses anything it can get its hands on. So, but yeah, that is my Gundam, and it does have a name. I gave it the name Legion. I don't know why I like the name, but that's what I decided to go with. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and stay tuned for more.